Day 12 of the partial government shutdown that impacts about 800,000 employees. Now, you know who said he would take the blame for this.
Yeah.
Seems to be saying, I don't know what happened, I don't know. So we're going to remind you of what was said. Hey, clip, play.
I am proud to shut down the government for border security, Chuck, because the people of this country don't want criminals and people that have lots of problems and drugs pouring into our country. So I will take the mantle. I will be the one to shut it down. I'm not going to blame you for it. The last time you shut it down, it didn't work. I will take the mantle of shutting down.
So he's holding out for $5 billion for the border wall that Mexico was supposed to pay for. And I just wonder, I mean, what's happening? He said this is one of the big promises that he made, one of the big promises he made when he ran. He said, Mexico's going to pay for this wall. I'm a deal maker. I know how to make that happen.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire. I said this before on the show. I think you should start it off with $1 billion, and then let's do a GoFundMe for your wall.
Well, he already raised, I think, $18 million.
Well, he should keep going, because I think the American people said,
a long way.
You told us we weren't going to have to do it.
Yeah.
I think what's terrible about it is he's really hurting real people, Americans. I mean, I just said I was in Mexico. Two of my best friends, one is a Navy vet. He now is an agent, works for the government, is not getting paid, furloughed, was on vacation with me, voted for Trump. My other friend, former civil rights DOJ attorney, federal worker today, is not getting paid. These are people with families, and did not vote for Trump. But two Americans not getting paid, families, they were not happy on vacation.
420,000.
They were upset. And you know, what is this about the wall? He's saying it's going to prevent drugs, it's going to prevent crime, it's going to prevent disease. If you speak to economists, if you speak to you know, all the statisticians, that is not true. None of those things bear out. So we're just talking about pure politics hurting real Americans.
Question?
Yeah.
Why does this never affect Senate, Congress, and the person in the White House? I feel like if you're going to shut down the government, it should affect you.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
they'll affect him in the next election, because he's
Yeah,
getting.
but
he's
that
going to get
doesn't
the
help
blame.
people today.
No, but that's
I feel
how
like
they pay.
if you're willing to do that, when you're in hand in your pocket, then I'll see how long it goes. But when you're who's actually working for a living, I get a little bit.
There have been other government shutdowns, though. I mean, in the 2008, the Democrats shut it down over DACA in January.
How many days?
Then in February.
How many days, baby?
It just says 3 shutdowns. Second shutdown in February, ending because of funding for Texas, Florida, and Puerto Rico. It's always a bad idea, no matter which side of the aisle you're on. As you said, people lose their income. It's just a bad look all around, because, again, we just talked about how we don't necessarily want to be here right now. You got to come to work when your job comes to work. It shouldn't have an example with the government as well.
The thing that's so appalling is that the lying continues, and that his base apparently still doesn't care. I mean, the guy goes in front of a bunch of veterans and says you're going to get a 10% raise when he knows that they're only getting a 2.6% raise. He lies right to their faces. Well, and then he lies that, that Mexico is going to pay for the wall. If you recall, the former president of Mexico, Vicente Fox, he said, Mexico's not. That was the tipping point for this whole thing. They will never pay for the wall.
But it was interesting is what made him turn on this was people like Ann Coulter and Rush Limbaugh going absolutely ape crap over the break when we were off, going full throttle towards him about this wall. And it was when part of his conservative base in the media started mutinying is when he changed his mind on this. So they're really the ones with the power.
They're the only ones who will support him. It's like he's in a corner.
I was going to say, actually, President Trump said the same thing that you said back in 2013 when there was a shutdown under President Obama. He said it starts at the top, and that person should be fired.
Say what?
He said if you say who gets fired, it always has to be the top. Problems start from the top, and they have to get solved from the top. And the president is the leader, and he's got to get everyone in the room.
But it doesn't matter what he says.
That's what he said back in 2013.
He says every stupid thing, and it doesn't mean anything to his base.